నమో మారుతి నత జన కరుణామతి వైశాఖమాస కృష్ణపక్ష దశమి మందవార పూర్వాభాద్ర ప్రభూత పుణ్యమూర్తి పావని.
Welcome to ArtEd India, the cultural classroom, creative curriculum in focus. I am Priyanka Srivastav, your host for this series. This podcast is presented by Eastern Eagle Entertainment in association with Zee Institute of Media Arts, Hyderabad. In this episode of ArtEd India podcast series, we welcome Dr. T.K. Saroja garu, an acclaimed classical vocalist, researcher and educator known for blending Indian classical music into research, creativity and education. She serves as a lecturer in music at IIIT Hyderabad and is also professor of Indian music at University of Silicon Andhra. Now it is called as Arya University. Through her performances, she has represented Indian music at national and international platforms across India, Italy, Spain and USA. Through international research presentations and innovative teaching methods, Dr. T.K. Saroja garu continues to inspire a new generation to experience music as a powerful bridge between art, culture and education. We welcome you, ma'am. Welcome to podcast, Dr. T.K. Saroja garu.
Namaste Priyanka garu. Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
It's wonderful to meet and discuss regarding music, how music evolves in education, how this music will integrated in national educational policy.
Yeah, I am equally excited.
Ma'am, what inspired your journey into Indian classical music? Who inspired?
I should say that it started naturally. So both my parents, my mother Dr. T.K. Chudamani and my father T.K. Acharyalu, both of them are very good singers, though not formally trained. So they had this interest to train me and also my sister Sujata formally in music. So I should give the entire credit to my parents first for introducing us to such a beautiful system of art which is music, without which none of this would have been actually possible. So they took that initiative to give us a formal training in classical music. And fortunately we also had, like many other people, we also had a very good music culture at home. Though we have not met our grandfather, my grandfather used to be a great classical vocalist, but both my grandmothers, even my maternal, paternal, both my grandmothers, I heard them singing beautifully. So it so happened like music was so like a natural in our house. So for every occasion, people used to sing. My grandmothers, my mother, my aunts, even my uncles. So there was a lot of music in the family, as I would say, as part of regular activities also. So that's how we, when I say we, I am also referring to my sister, both me and my sister. So we get an opportunity to see music everywhere. It was like a natural part of life.
Ma'am, you have backgrounds in both mathematics and classical music. So how do these two disciplines connect into teaching and research?
Initially, I was like very much interested in mathematics. So I pursued mathematics at like undergrad and also master's levels. I also thought like I would do a PhD in mathematics, but which I did not do, of course. From like after my first post-graduation in mathematics, then I also thought of doing a post-graduation in music. So after that, somehow I felt like only I should focus more on music, and it also happened like after my post-graduation, I thought of giving a chance for my PhD in music. I have to also say that I saw my mother doing a PhD. So it was in Telugu. Her subject used to be Telugu. She's trained both in Telugu and Sanskrit, but she pursued PhD in Telugu. So I saw her working for her PhD, and that somehow created a lot of interest in me, and I thought like I should also do a PhD. At that time I didn't know in which subject I would do, but later on I kind of leaned towards music only, because I found it to be more and more interesting, exciting day by day. And thanks to my guru Sriman NCH Krishnamacharlu garu, who has not just taught me music, but he has exposed me to a very big spectrum inside this area called music. Yeah.
Wow. Very nice, very nice. So, the National Educational Policy 2020 promotes art integrated education. So, how this Indian classic music will implement to change educational system?
Yeah, that's actually a great initiative this NEP 2020 had that as one of its agenda items. I don't know how serious it is in the implementation, but it should be actually, music should be introduced right from the childhood in the regular curriculum.
Okay.
So I am glad that you named this series as Art Education series, because it is, I think, only in recent times people started understanding about music as a system of education also. Music has always been part of human life.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
right, since human evolution, but not just treating it as a entertaining channel, but also realizing the importance of the educative effectiveness of this system is somewhat that has to be seriously taken up. So if art is educated, when I say art, I mean any system of art, be it painting, dance, music, but I being a musician, I know how helpful is music to human life.
Yes.
So I really am very much interested if music is introduced right from LKG level as a formal subject, like how you learn maths, how you learn English.
Yes.
So like how you learn ABCD or 1 2 3 4 right from your childhood, you should also have an idea on what musical notes are Sarigama Padani. If you are here in India, anywhere in the world, if you know what the basics of art is, then the benefits that you get later on from that formal introduction to art, like the benefits are immense.
So it's not like extracurricular activity.
Absolutely.
It has to include in the main academics. You mean
Yes.
to say, right, ma'am?
Very true, because today we have a lot of schools where music is one subject, but I think mostly there what happens is children are taught a lot of songs, which is good. They are trained to perform on many occasions, but how much it is introduced as an academic subject, I am not sure of. But I know some places where it is happening like at a basic level, but it should happen more rigorously in every standard of education, in the primary school, middle school, high school, even intermediate level, undergrad level. So if you have a subject along with everything else, like how we learnt English. So when you learn English, it is not that you take it up as your main subject throughout your life, like
Yes.
right? So we use it somewhere or the other. So the values that you get from music also, they keep reflecting in your life always.
So, in your experience, how can music improve child creativity, communication skills, and art integrated learnings?
It definitely contributes to overall development. The moment you start musical activity, you have to focus on notes. So suppose if I ask you to sing sa, you have to have a lot of coordination of your mental faculty, the sound that you are about to produce. So it should not be sa, it should not be sa, it should binds all these things together to be more expressive. So when you combine all these things, naturally there is a layer what we call as focus. So if you go out of focus, you won't be able to coordinate things well within this entire activity called music. So focus is a like we talked initially, it's an integral part of the musical activity. So when you are trained into such a system, you would naturally know how to focus on the things. without which music actually cannot happen.
Okay, so as a music educator, ma'am, how you engage this younger generation into classical music education?
Yeah,
Because
that's
this genre,
interesting question.
yeah, this genre quickly they will distract. Right, music needs lots and lots of focus.
Yeah, your initial question also has the element of creativity which I
Yes.
did not touch upon. So I teach on different platforms. So when I teach at Triple IT, which is a highly technical institute, it's meant to educate students on the technology aspects, right? So there when they introduced art, the purpose is like art also nurtures creativity. So creativity, some people say that creativity is inbuilt, so it comes naturally by birth. It may be true to certain extent, but what I was taught by my teachers and my even professors, actually I should also take the name of one of my professors with whom I got this wonderful opportunity to work at Triple IT, late Professor Navjot Singh. So his talks, the interactions with him made all of us, the team, realize that creativity is something that you can nurture,
Okay.
and art serves as a powerful medium to nurture that creativity. So, see, music is all about patterns, right? So, even math is like that. You talked about
Yes.
the association of math and music.
Yes.
Like, so, like how you have numbers in music and you have numbers in mathematics. So, you work with patterns, right? Numbers,
Yes,
how
yes.
do you arrange them?
Yes.
Music also has notes always which come in patterns. So, that at that level, when I say math, I don't do any complex mathematical equations, or I don't convert so huge mathematical formula into music, which is also possible. But what I work, at what level I work with students is that I say that just understand the musical notes as numbers. So how well do you combine the numbers? The same thing you can do with the musical notes. Like suppose sa re ga ma, if you consider them as 1 2 3 4, suppose. So I sing a pattern sa re ga ma sa re ga ma sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa sa ni da pa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So you need not by heart this. It is like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
Wow.
8 7 6 5 8 7 6 5 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. So whatever logic that comes here, if you don't understand it in terms of notes, just convert it into numbers. Then it's as simple as, it is not a bigger logic even.
Okay.
But those things kind of work very well in the formative years of understanding music well.
Okay.
So they also let you understand that music is a very logical process.
And very beautiful.
Of course, beautiful. Aesthetics is the dominant element in art. But to reach that aesthetics level, you have to go through a training phase where training is not like something you have to always memorize. There is a whole lot of importance for memory too. But just see it like any other system of any other subject which is filled with lot of logic, which is filled with lot of basic understanding.
Okay.
Usually I find that whenever we talk about Indian classical music, people are scared because it is not very easily relatable. But there is a reason for it, because the arrangements are very complex. The layers are like thick. There is a lot of density. But where is the humanity, or whoever says that classical music is boring or classical music is very difficult to comprehend, where is the attempt to see actually what it is? So if you try to, what you call this as, disintegrate into its basic components and see how are they arranged to make that complex structure, then you will find it interesting. So this process of exposing them to the basic layers is not happening, which is making the community feel that it is not relatable. And another thing is, whenever you talk about Indian classical music, most of the content is actually presented in a bit complex language. It is not like a film song where you just use colloquial language. But that doesn't mean that everything has to be too simple. No? We must be able to admire complexities also.
Of course.
And we can train ourselves to that level of admiring them. Once you get the taste of such a level, then you won't feel like to get back from it. So I always say to students, like, first remove the conditioning from your mind that it is not relatable or it is complex or it is boring. No, why is it boring? It is the same raga that you listen in a film music, but it is presented in a different format. So when the notes are the same, it should not be boring content to you, but the way it is presented is different. So just try to understand what is that format.
So, as a music teacher, how do you make classical music engaging for younger generations?
From my side, I have been doing a couple of things, like for the past 2 years, I took the help of the students from AAAT wherever, and I asked them to design games, music oriented games, that too Indian music focused oriented games. So I give them concepts, they build the games, and we have offered workshops for 2 consecutive years, this year and the previous year. And the response was too good, because the way we introduce the concept called raga, which is supposed to be a very complex concept, but the way you introduce students to it is through a gamified platform. So if you take initiatives to make it presentable, you need not make it simple, but you can retain everything as it is, but just make it easily understandable. The explaining modules or methods can be different.
Okay.
So if you just ask them to sing some abstract form of a raga, it's very difficult. No one can get there instantly. But you tell them, okay, this song that you listen to every day is also in the same raga. So do you know what notes are there in the raga? So this set of notes are there.
Okay.
So try to get the sense in the other composition, which is called a classical composition. So then they start slowly relating to these things. The most important thing here is, it is time taking. The process of learning classical art forms, any art form, when you say classical, it takes time. You have to have patience to learn it. But because so many people who say it is boring don't have time, so we are actually very much now we are into a very fast mode
generation.
of life where instantly 1 minute reel or 30 seconds reel. But that's not how you should be. Okay, you can get excited by a 30 seconds reel, but go into deep, like what that reel is talking about, which also can be presented in a 40 minutes performance or 1 hour performance. So take inspiration from this and try to reach there also, because that process is also very exciting. So give it a chance, try to see where that excitement is, how it can be built. So I think that is where I try to work.
So you have presented Indian classical music across global platforms. So how is Indian music being appreciated globally?
It's actually very well appreciated. You get a welcoming response from everywhere. We have to actually thank our previous generations, musicians who have taken this music to that international level, who have really tried to spread this fragrance to different corners of the world, and we should be very thankful to this technological advancement where people from everywhere get to see people, hear, listen to people from everywhere. So Indian music has been really taken very well from people of different countries, because Indian music mainly is known for its rich aesthetics, particularly the concepts like raga and tala, which are very unique to Indian music, have been really appreciated for the depth and for the heights of the creativity that they include in them. So even recently when I went to Barcelona. I went there for a conference, but I really had a great opportunity to present my works at UPF, a very popular university, to a particular group of music technology, MTG, the group is called Music Technology Group people. So I was really happy by the questions that I got after my presentation from non-Indian students.
Oh.
So you getting appreciation or questions from Indian fraternity is kind of like something that you regularly see, but others who are very keen to know about the details of this music, they want to know the depths of it, like the creative elements, the cultural elements, even the history and whatnot, everything, the blend of language with music. So in India we have too many languages, right?
Yes.
So even in classical music, suppose take South Indian classical music, we have compositions of Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil, Sanskrit. So everybody is fascinated by how all these elements are so beautifully integrated into Indian classical system. If I have to say, the basic note, NOT, musical note is called swara in Indian music. In the beauty of Indian music is the concepts are very deep, and I think the way the concepts are named also has lot of relevance. I don't know, I am not trying to compare or I am not trying to highlight one system of music over the other, but I always feel like when you say musical note, well and good, you understand that there are some notes. But when you say swara in Indian terminology, the definition is swara, swato ranjayati. That means it is self-appealing, self-entertaining. So the two-letter word is so deep, and it means like why it is self-entertaining means it is not just a position, it is actually a range of frequencies. That is the great difference between Indian music and other systems of music. Here we talk about range of frequencies, not only single frequency, that is called a semitone. This is a bit, I am going into a bit of technicality. So these elements attract people from everywhere, and the way these elements actually function in the name of melody or rhythm or in the compositions and the huge range of compositional forms that we have here, both in Carnatic and Hindustani, that come under Indian classical music. Okay. That is also so huge, so deep, so emotive. So the emotive, that emotive aspect of Indian music is what I think is going far and attracting people.
Ma'am, that's beautiful. Ma'am, I'm really sorry, I don't know much about this. Ma'am, what is the difference between raga, tala and swara?
Okay, so swaras make ragas and tala is a different layer. So tala is rhythm, that is temporal, time. So when you try to arrange things in time, that becomes a layer called rhythm. So when you, even if I don't sing, I do action. This is a timely sequence of claps, right? So this is a rhythmic sequence. So this layer called rhythm blends with the layer called melody. Instead of I singing sa re ga ma, if I arrange it sequence like timely, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So I added the timing, layer of timing onto the melodic layer, so that these become what we call as a tune.
Okay.
Then there is another layer called lyrics that we add on, so that it becomes a song. And you asked me about raga. So raga is a very strict framework that Indian music follows.
Okay.
So raga means it has a lot of rules and restrictions within which you are encouraged to explore as much as possible. So can you create a whole world within the limitations that I set for you? That is what is exciting about the raga concept. So I tell you, you don't use this note. Sa re ga pa da sa. So you are not allowed to use ma and ni.
Okay.
So whatever you want, you explore within this framework only. So I am just trying to make it simple for you. It has so much more in it.
It's so interesting also.
Yeah, so that framework that is set is a raga which has a lot to explore within the given limitations.
Okay.
So that is why every individual has their own take on the same raga. So when I sing a raga and somebody else sing a raga, you find it so different because I take from my experience and others begin with their experience. So that is why this, and Indian music is known also for its improvisation. Improvisation means everything is not set.
Okay.
When we sing a song, it is set. Set means already pre-composed. But when I say improvisation, you do it spontaneously then and there.
It's not
Gapada sari
predefined.
sada pa gapada gada pagari sari pagari gada paga pasada padari sari dari sa sada paga pada sa. So I sang something. If you ask me to sing again, I won't repeat this because I have not by heart this.
Okay.
I'll sing something else next time. So this act called improvisation is very exciting. And that improvisation which is bound by raga and thala is the something that is very rich that you see in Indian music. And that complexity that it can offer you is like, I can't even express how much people have made these things like so deep, they engaged with these things. The concept of thala in Indian music has been, I think, the most complex rhythmic setup ever.
Oh.
So Indian thala system is everywhere admired because it's so complex.
Thala means that we often see in they will do some with the bell.
So let me tell you, okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I don't have that.
no,
much of
that's
knowledge.
good. So this is what I say, like this formal information, this kind of basic information, if it is available to everyone, then you also feel comfortable to appreciate or listen to more of Indian music. Otherwise, suppose if you don't know what thala is, I'll be doing lot of things saying that I am singing in Adi thala, I am singing in Rupaka thala. If you don't know what thala is, you might not relate to it well. That is where the gap is.
Yes.
So it is very interesting that there is something called rhythm. I talked to you earlier about it, right?
Yes.
It is a equal distribution of actions in time,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But that is like a line, linear. You can do it as much as possible. You keep on doing it, it goes like a straight line.
Okay.
But if you make a structure out of this sequence and repeat it like a cycle, that is called thala. So instead of doing, I take 8 beats
Okay.
and I associate some actions so that you can relate to these 8 beats, locate them, access them easily. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. So there is a 1 that means a beginning and 8 that is an end for this cycle.
Okay.
So everything you do has a begin and end cyclically. So
Okay.
this is something new in Indian music which is not there in other systems of music. So this gives a scope for a lot of calculations. Once you have a beginning and end, you calculate so much within it. That's where math come into,
Okay.
particularly in Indian music. When you take this concept of thala, you have to keep calculating throughout the process of. So if I am singing in something called Adi thala like this, the
So
count
this is
of
called Adi thala.
so there are 8 beats and every beat is represented by one action,
Okay.
so that it becomes easy for us to follow it,
Okay.
right? So first beat, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have names for these things. I am not going into detail,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So you do this set of actions again and again and again. So when you ask me about math, suppose if I am singing one letter on one beat, it will be 8 at the end of one cycle.
Okay.
But if I sing 2 letters on one beat, it will be 16 by the end of the cycle. If I sing 4 letters on beat, it will be 32 at the end of cycle. So whatever you decide to do, you will keep calculating these numbers.
Okay.
So it is like a simple arithmetic, which is part of mathematics. So, but there are so many artists of like previous generations who have really like broke the boundaries, I would say, and pushed the boundaries so much, and they have not pursued any formal mathematics. They have not done any PhD or a master's in mathematics, but the music training itself engages you with mathematics in a certain way, like that you get used to do these calculations well, and if you focus more, you can take it to any level that you want. That's how it is part and parcel.
Nice, ma'am. Good to know about all this Indian classical music. So, as a performer or composer, how innovation and experiments?
There is a huge line of people who have contributed to this system and helped develop it so much so. You talked about Tyagaraja Annamacharya. Annamacharya is 3 centuries before Tyagaraja. Later on, there are like these 3 people, Tyagaraja, Shyamasastri and Muthuswami Dikshitar, who have actually set a trend. So we actually see music as pre-Trinity and post-Trinity. So they have actually created a benchmark by composing so many compositions in the name of the compositional form called Kriti.
Kriti. Okay.
So you said Kirtanalu, which is also almost similar.
Okay.
So Kriti or Kirtanalu, let me put it as one for now. So they have contributed with hundreds, thousands of compositions which have become kind of a regular repertoire later on for musicians to learn, explore, research, practice, everything and everything. Right? So without them, there's nothing called Indian classical music today, because everything has been set easily by them. So whatever we do is like we are following the steps, we are following the direction that they have shown us, right?
Yes.
And when you asked me about my composing, I don't know, I somehow developed a huge interest to compose music along with singing music. So I started it doing from early years of my life, and I also have this fortune of working with my mother, Dr. T.K. Chudamani. So whatever I want to do, first I ask her to write lyrics, because I am not good at writing lyrics. So for a song you need a good inspiration from a set of lyrics. So I tell her like, can you write on something like this? Can you write on something like that? And she immediately does that for me. So a lot of songs that I composed are provided by my mother for me. Of course, I worked on different writers' songs also, right? So, and also we recorded some albums where my mother explained the things. Of course, they are devotional albums. So she explained the concepts. I provided music for the stotras or for the songs that she has written as part of that album. So that was my initial phase of composing. So she asked me like, if I do an album, will you be able to compose something where we both can work together? Then I gave a thought like, why not?
Yes.
That's where I think this started, maybe. That's what I remember.
So you're preserving music.
Yeah. So that's how we worked together, we collaborated, and I started composing tunes, and I found it to be a very exciting activity. So you singing the song composed by others is different from you singing your own song. I started cherishing it so much. So I really composed a lot of songs by different writers. And when you talk about innovation, I think I got inspiration for that from my guru, Krishnamacharya garu. He never taught us his own compositions. I got this opportunity to work on his works when I pursued my PhD on his works. So my PhD is on the contribution of my guru Krishnamacharya garu to South Indian music. So there I got exposed to the whole repertoire of his works. I was like spellbound. I was like, I didn't know that he worked so much so, because he never taught us his own compositions unless we insisted so much. So all his compositions I learned later on from the notations provided by him in his published works. But later on I have seen like how innovative he was. So he is like a mark of innovation. His works are like he designed a new musical form itself. He has actually conceived a new concept called Garbhakriti, which was never like heard by anyone before, even after him. So this Garbhakriti is so innovative idea that within the structure of one Kriti, multiple Kritis are hidden. So it's a concept like from a parent Kriti, many child Kritis can be born. Something like that. I'm not going into the details of it now. So that was something so innovative, which Indian music had not seen before, honestly. And people appreciated it so much. So such ideas are the kind of standards of innovation. So innovation can happen very simply. It can be like at very high standards also. And I saw some performances of my guru where he also used to be a composer of Harikadhas and performer of Harikadhas. Harikatha is also like a composite art where you have kind of sahityam, the poetic influence in it, musical influence in it, also presentation skills. It's like a kind of a theatre where the performer has to be very expressive. So I heard him present one composition of Tyagaraja as a full Harikatha. That was something that I never saw before. Oh, can somebody present one composition of a composer as a full Harikatha, as a narrative? So he built a whole narrative from one composition. So that's where I saw his innovation again. So I am always interested in experimenting, be it a very small experiment, but I love to experiment with music. And people keep asking me like, is it not against tradition? No, unless you and until you break the rules, everything is acceptable, right?
Yes.
So I really love to experiment with music as much as possible.
So music is evolving with new technology.
Yes, definitely. So yes, there is a lot of contribution of technology. The way we listen to music today, like we have a lot of luxury to listen to music from the best acoustic systems. So we have microphones, we have sound systems, whatnot, everything. Recording studios where like earlier all these things were not there as much as what we have today. So what inspires me is the quality from previous times without all this technological advancement. And if we can retain, if we can keep that quality intact with the present technology, which made things very easy for us actually. When you see at the AI models that are creating music today, to some level it is welcoming, like it's interesting to see AI model composing music. But I always feel like it can't overpower humans because a human intervention always is necessary. So the way the aesthetics are built, the way everything is put together by human beings, I don't know, I am not making a statement here. I feel like it may not be like completely taken over by AI, but we can make the best use of the AI tools to make the process easy, comfortable, and then we take it assistance to produce high quality work. That's where I want to be.
Why it is important for young people today to stay connected to India's rich musical and cultural traditions, ma'am?
Yeah, it is important for anyone to be connected to their roots, right? So if you have a background, Indian background, like you are born and you have a lineage that Indian, like Indian connected lineage. So it's because Indian music is very deep, Indian culture has so many elements into it. What I like in Indian philosophy is like the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Like we want to see entire human race as one family. If we can really assimilate those values that Indian philosophy offers us, without being lost in the divisions that are also around us, then that actual philosophy that India is known for, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So music can teach that. Any art form can teach that. I find like all these knowledge systems are there to instill values in us. So if we focus on also learning values along with building the skills, then the real purpose of learning any knowledge system will be served. So it is important to let students know like how much advanced you are in your learning, whatever technologies you use or whatever output you actually target towards, keep the values also intact along with you. So the intentions should be broad. I always say this very seriously because people keep asking me like, is it like if you learn music, you will get all good values? I will say that if that is in your intention, if you keep your mind open for that, it happens. It's not like if you keep practicing music, magically you will become a great person or develop a personality. I don't say that some magic will happen, but you have to have an intention towards that. You can intend to be a great musician, you can earn name, fame, you can do path-breaking works, but along with all these things, if there is also an intention to get benefited from the system in terms of the values that it offers, then we can really go towards a better world, definitely.
That's great, ma'am. Wonderful to know. So you have inspired many students through your work, through your research. What advice would you like to give our young artists, educator and researchers?
Yeah, nowadays we have so many options within music also, like you can be a performer, you can be a lyrics writer, you can be a composer, you can be a music technician, you can be an organizer. So there are so many things. If you ask me for any advice, I would only say what I said earlier, because I am not such a person to give advices to people. This is what I learnt from my gurus, my parents and from my well-wishers, that let us be respectful towards arts. First of all, realize the potential in art. It's not just a channel of entertainment. It has so much so to give you. So just be open to it. Let no conditioning like drive you. Keep yourselves open. And when it comes to Indian music today, because of this globalization, other forms of music are also much more popular. And that's good, nothing wrong in that. Even I listen to lots of genres of music. My children do a lot of like other musical genres, much more. They are into different genres of music and I appreciate that. But you realize what is here naturally.
Yes.
So you just pay attention to what Indian music also gives you. Because people who are practicing are saying that it is a great system of music. It keeps you healthy, it keeps you happy, it keeps you innovative, it makes you whatever you want. So just give it a chance, give it a thought, be open to learn it. You can be fascinated by anything in the world.
No,
I won't say that everybody has to learn only Indian classical music, but I do say Indian classical music has so much to give you. Just give it a chance, give it a thought and try to learn it. You need not excel, you need not be a performer, just be a respectful admirer of music system. See, whenever we say Indian music, it is not just classical music. Classical music is also again connected back to regional music, culture. So we have so many regions here. Every region is filled with a lot of local music and I love all that regional music. There is so much that you get from the local regional music. That's how some ragas were also kind of conceptualized. Tunes from some like folk tunes were later on adapted into the ragas, and those led to the construction of formal raga structures. So everything is equally important. I don't say like because I trained in Indian classical music, I never say that only classical music is worthy. I also tell students like just classical music is a label which makes everything happen in a format with rules and restrictions. Otherwise it's no different from semi-classical music or light music, if you remove the idea called strictness of rule and rigidity, then it is no different from any form of music.
Now we will ask some rapid fire. You have to answer in a word. So one raga that instantly uplift your mood.
Oh my god, that's a very difficult question, because whatever raga I practice that day, that becomes my favorite raga for that day. But anyway, because you asked, Kalyani is a raga that is worldwide, like world favorite raga. So I want to sing a line of my guru's composition in that raga. Nice. Kalyani raga. So, Sri Kanaka Durge Asrita Jana Manasasam Sarge Sri Kanaka Durge Asrita Jana Manasasam Sarge Sri Kanaka Durge.
Even we don't know these many raga types are there. Great. A composer or a musician who deeply inspires you.
All the composers who have bestowed so much rich music to us, but I am a bit more biased, you can say, towards my guru, because whom I have seen before my eyes. So all his works, all his thoughts, all the values that he tried to instill into us through the music, that's what is my favorite forever.
Ma'am, morning practice or late night creativity?
Both. Actually, you named it so. So morning practice, sometimes you want to create something late night when everything is so calm and no disturbance from anywhere.
Okay. So one word that describes music for you?
Life.
Great. So one of your most memorable moment in your entire music career?
Okay, again there are many, but one thing that I always cherish is like the first concert that I performed in the presence of my guru. So he was so kind enough to come there to sit, and then the feedback that I got from him. So even instantly while I was performing, the way he was encouraging me to be free and to sing whatever I want. So that is the best thing that I remember ever.
So if you could collaborate with any artist across history, who would it be?
So it again depends on what terms I want to collaborate. Within Indian music there are so many, within like across cultural there are like the recent artist Jacob Collier. I am very much fascinated. He's so young, but the kind of work he does is like always inspires me. So if I get a chance, I would love to collaborate with him. And within Indian music there are so many, like Kaushiki Chakravarti. I would definitely love to collaborate if it is sitar somebody, violin somebody. So it depends on what lines I want to collaborate.
So we already asked this question. Again I am repeating. One of your favorite raga, because we want to listen more from you, ma'am.
There's this raga called Sindhu Bhairavi which always fascinates me, because it's there in so many cultures again. And okay, let me present my mother's lyrics that I composed in the Sindhu Bhairavi raga. This is my all-time favorite song. Okay. Namo Namo Maruti Nata Jana Karunamati Navavidha Vyakarana Shastra Naigamanta Dhritamati Namo Namo Maruti Nata Jana Karunamati Vaishakha Masa Krishna Paksha Dasami Mandavara Purva Bhadra Prabhuta Punyamurti Pavani Namo Namo Maruti Nata Jana Karunamati.
Wow, beautiful, ma'am. Beautiful.
Thank you so
very
much.
Nice. It was very wonderful discussion regarding Indian classical music, how classical music evolved with time, and through your research work and your global performances, we learned many things from you, ma'am. I hope our viewers enjoyed this show and they got to know more about Indian classical music.
Yeah, I'm really thankful to your entire team. Actually, I got this opportunity from Kumar Swami Garu, Dr. Kumar Swami. So I really thank him and the entire team who have really been doing a great work because, yeah, you are giving a very good platform for enthusiasts like me who want to share something with the larger group of people. So it's really a wonderful opportunity, and I highly appreciate the work. And I wish this entire efforts many best wishes I give for the entire efforts. As I have already mentioned to you, I want you to get a broader visibility, and I want people to acknowledge your work that you are trying to do to make art as a formal education, to introduce art as a educative like resource. I'm really very happy for the initiative.
So we should thanks to Kumar sir.
Definitely.
And thank you so much, Saroja Garu.
And I
for
want to
coming.
thank you also. You have been very sweet. You asked many interesting questions. I hope I gave some convincing answers.
It's more beautiful with lots and lots of knowledge-driven episode. So our viewers, hopefully they will enjoy this show through our
Hoping
conversations. Yeah, we are hoping so. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you
to come in this show.
very much.
Thank you for your
Namaste
time.
everyone.